Hello, hello, and welcome to the Ash Christine Designs YouTube channel, where I host my knitting podcast as well as some vlogs and some other fun videos. My name is Ash, and you can find me on Instagram as Ash Christine Designs, and you can find me on Ravelry as Ash Christine. All links to where you can find me on social media are in the description box below this video. So you can go and click any of those instead of having to search for my username. Today is Friday, November 3rd. This is not my usual podcast recording day. I typically go with Saturdays, but I have some errands to run tomorrow, and I really don't see the time. I really don't see having enough time to film the podcast. So I got up early this morning, and I am just now sitting down. I think it's a little past 10:30. Finally ready to film the podcast. I'm kind of out of the swing of it. It's been about a week longer than it should have been between episodes. I seem to have caught the cold that's going around. I'm definitely like on the other side of it now. If you hear a little bit of it lingering in my voice, that is pretty standard for me. My vocal cords always get a little jumbled up after every single cold or sickness that I have. So that's no concern. I'm completely better. It's just my vocal cords like to hang on to it. Since I have seen you guys last, I have fallen into full Christmas mode. I'm using my Christmas mugs, and I'm drinking a peppermint mocha creamer in here. It's amazing, as always, every single year. And it's special to me to wait until November to drink it, even though I see the bottles start popping up in stores in October. But waiting till November is like definitely the way to go. But okay, that's pretty much enough of an opening. So let's get into some knitting talk, and we're going to start that off with some admin news. First up, before I get into the pattern news for this episode, I did want to mention that my filming location is different. Like I said, I have fallen into full Christmas mode, and there is currently a Christmas tree where my usual podcast recording setup is. So I can't record from there anymore. I'm trying out this space here to see if this is okay. I know the lighting's not that great, but it's also about 4 hours earlier than I usually record. And the window that I have is a afternoon sun window. So that's why I typically record around noon or so, or anytime after noon. So I don't know if the lighting issue is because I'm several hours earlier than usual, or if it's just the distance between me and the window. So we'll see how this looks in post-production, and if it's decent, then we may stick with this location. I may also make a decision once I record again in this space, once it's lit up with afternoon sun. So we'll see what it looks like in post-production and go from there. So if you see the location changing or the background changing over the course of a few episodes, I'm doing my best. I'm trying to find what works the best during the Christmas season when my Christmas tree is in the place of my usual podcast recording area. Okay, the pattern news for this episode is the Oh My Gourd pumpkin pattern is finally live. I have been talking about this pattern since September and diligently working away on it. I am so excited to finally share it with you guys. This is a fun fingering weight pumpkin pattern. It's sort of a companion to my Hello Gorgeous, which is the worsted weight sister version of this pattern. But Oh My Gourd has 4 stitch variations across 2 different pumpkin sizes, so it is just a little bit more elevated than Hello Gorgeous. If there is enough demand for it, or if there's enough interest in it rather, I may go ahead and go through the Hello Gorgeous pattern and update it with the 4 existing stitch patterns and see what those numbers look like. But for now, the Oh My Gourd pattern is the only one where you can get all 4 of those the stitch patterns across the 2 sizes. So if you're interested, go ahead and check that out. You have plenty of time to work up a few before Thanksgiving or as little Christmas gifts or something. Like, possibilities for pumpkins are endless, honestly. Yeah, that is my pattern news for the week, and it leads me right into my finished object for this episode, and that is the Oh My Gourd large stockinette sample. So I finished this one in between the last 2 podcasts, or rather in between this podcast in the previous podcast. Yes, this is the Oh My Gourd pattern. The yarn I used for this was Knit Pick Stroll in the white colorway, and the needles I used are US2 2.75 millimeter. And I started this pumpkin October 9th, and I finished it October 17th. So they really don't take that much time, even the large ones. And that was with me putting it down and picking up other projects in between. So yeah, less than 10 days, I think, if I mathed that correctly in my head, just over a week. Yeah, super, super fun, super happy with the way that this one came out. That's my only finished object for the episode. I know, I'm shocked too. I thought for sure with taking a week off that I would have a lot more to show you, but I ended up not having a lot more to show you. I did make really decent progress on a few projects, one in particular. And yeah, if I had focused all my energy on this one, then I probably could have had it finished by now. But I quit working on it for reasons I'll explain in a minute. But yeah, I think that maybe I was just a little bit too ill to really buckle down and do a whole lot of focus knitting, which is unfortunately what this one was. And that is my Wednesday vest. The last time that you saw this, I had the strips for the front done. I was on the last strip, I believe, and or column rather. But it wasn't sewed together or anything. And now it is. It's all sewed together. I got, some shoulder seams and everything. I popped a picture of me wearing this to my Instagram story because I had to try it on for a fit check to see how long I actually wanted the bottom ribbing to be. Speaking of, I have picked up the bottom ribbing and I am probably maybe an inch in, if that. Probably a little bit less than an inch. But yeah, I was working on this so strong. I was ready. I wanted this done in time for Halloween. I was going to wear it to some Halloween things. And then I caught an illness and I just didn't feel like it was, even though I felt better by Halloween, I didn't feel like it was a good idea for me to go out and about and, spread all that. So I put this aside and paused working on it since I knew I wasn't going to be wearing it this year. I do still have plans to finish it. I think it's going to be super fun. Who knows if I'll wear it outside of Halloween or outside of any type of party or anything, just because it doesn't really seem like my style. But yeah, I'm about an inch into the ribbing and it's going good. After I finish the bottom ribbing, I just have the ribbing to do on the sleeves, which is pretty much just, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like just maybe an inch or two of ribbing. It's, you pick it up and go just a little bit. It's not, there's no shaping involved or anything. It's just a straight rib. And then the V-neck ribbing as well, pick up to do with a collar. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's left on this. I did weave in all the ends. I don't know how well you can kind of see an end there. So there's no like loose ends anywhere. The only one I have is here, and that's because I was using it and then forgot that it was there. But yeah, all my ends are woven in, and I just gotta do the ribbing, and then this project will be done. I know I stalled on this project since it's no longer Halloween, but I would like to pick this up and finish it either before the end of the year or very early next year, kind of depending on the progress I make on my next couple of projects. Okay, some details about the Wednesday vest project. The pattern is, I'm following a video. It's linked on the project page. I'm following a video just with all my own math to fit my size. The yarn I'm using is Caron Silky Soft in the white and black colorways. Here's what one of the skeins look like if you've never seen Caron Silky Soft. This is just your standard basic acrylic yarn, but it's one of the softest brands, so there's that. The needles I'm using are US 7 or 4.5 millimeter, and I used a slightly smaller size for all the ribbing, or I am using one, US 6 or 4 millimeter. My next whip will be one that's very familiar to you, and that is my Pinwheel Scrap Blanket. My little charm turned the wrong way, but it's a little cherry. But yeah, I marked the ones that I finished so I remember to show them on the podcast. But yeah, so this one I finished within the last week, I think. When I put the brakes on the Wednesday vest, I decided to pick this one up and finish it because it was about halfway done anyway. And as soon as I finished that, I immediately cast on for the next one. And yeah, I'm super, super happy with this project. I cast this on Knit the First Wedge and then put it down for some reason. Probably because I'm focused on my other work in progress, the last one I'm going to show you in a minute. But yeah, so I'm making decent progress on this again. I'm excited to kind of get back into this. I'm definitely going to try to stick with knitting a little bit on this every single day and seeing how many squares I can get done, because I really, really want to have this finished by the end of the year. That'll be the last time that I see the recipient of this blanket. I'll see them again towards the end of December. I don't think quite Christmas time, but towards the end of December. And I want to have it done and finished and be able to gift it to them. So that gives me a little over a month, almost a month and a half, or rather it gives me a month and a half, almost 2 months. But yeah, so that's my goal, is to finish this one by the end of the year. Some details about this pattern or project. I'm flipping a page in my notes. The pattern is by Mina Phillip. It's just a pinwheel scrap blanket. The yarn I'm using is like assorted worsted weight scraps. And the needles I'm using are US 7 or 4.5 millimeters. Okay, my final work in progress for this episode, and the reason why I've been so scattered and haven't worked on my pinwheel scrap blanket that often over the past few days, and that is my crocheted snowman. It looks like nothing right now. This is a pattern or a project that I'm kind of just making up on the fly. I am holding yarn double-stranded. I'm working with Bernat Pipsqueak yarn. Got it. I'm working with Bernat Pipsqueak yarn in the Whitey White colorway. This is what that label looks like. And I'm holding it double-stranded with a leftover skein of Big Twist Value in the white colorway, which is a Joann's yarn brand. Yeah, I'm holding them together because I started out just holding the Pipsqueak, and not only was it quite gappy, but it was just not strong at all. I thought that the yarn was going to snap at any point, but holding them together, they feel much stronger. So yeah, so that's been my main focus for the past couple of days, the past week, in fact. Like I said, there's no pattern. I'm making this up as I go. The hook I'm using is a US K or a 6.5 millimeter. I know it's quite wrinkly. My sister who crochets more than me, assures me that it will stop wrinkling like this. It'll stop puckering once it gets big enough. I'm trying to trust her, but the problem is I've already finished the head, and the head didn't do that. So let me show you the head. Here's the head. It's going to be huge. It's almost as big as my head, but it is only 2 parts. So there's going to be the head of it, and then the body of it is going to be down below once I finish it. But yeah, I've ordered I've ordered large eyes for the snowman because all the ones I have were just a little too small. So yeah, so it's good. It's going. And I'm hoping to have this done within the next week or so, depending on how much time I can actually devote towards the body. Because believe it or not, this is really taking me a long time. The head felt like it whipped up in a few days maybe, but the body seems like it's taking forever. And it's not even that much bigger than the head. It's like maybe 2 increase rounds bigger. So maybe like 20 stitches bigger. I don't know if that translates, but yeah. So yeah, this is the project that's been taking up the most of my time. But I'm really, really excited about it. I'm going to knit him a little scarf, a little Fair Isle scarf. And he's just going to be like a yearly Christmas decoration. And I'm very, very excited. And that's kind of all for this week. I genuinely thought, with there being an extra week in between recording, that I would have a lot more to talk about, that I would have a lot more to bring you guys, a lot more works in progress, or progress on my works in progress. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I was just too ill to knit as much as I thought I was going to. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. If you are a new viewer and you liked this episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when I upload new podcast episodes or other vlogs or videos. And if you are a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back to the channel. I appreciate you so much. That's it for me this week. I will see you guys next episode for episode 24. I'm super, super excited to show you guys all the progress that I make on my projects in between now and then. But until then, take care, happy knitting, and I will see you next time. Bye.